What's up, you discriminative savages? Today we're going to be talking about sexual theory. I just created this freaking model for you fucking savages, and it's representative of how we discriminate in the sexual marketplace in reference to our own sexual selectability. I'm trying to not make up words here, so. This shit's unscripted. This shit's full fucking raw. So that's how this shit's gonna go, you guys. I created this model. I didn't have a fucking creative name for it. It's called the sexual market value model, and it measures your sexual value quotient, which we do not have. We do not know everything precisely that, because people are very tricky, you know. People go after different things, but there are universal patterns that people tend to go after, right? But basically, this is the fucking theory, you guys. We have this internal regulator in our brain that kind of tells us how valuable we are sexually to the marketplace in relation to everybody else. So it's very competitive. That's why I say it's discriminative, you discriminative fucking cunts. You non-egalitarian fucking cunts. It measures a couple of things, right? And so you get an idea based on maybe perhaps your experiences as well as the culture and what people have said is beautiful and valuable. And you start to find things about yourself that are sexually desirable, right? Like, for example, I'll give you a fucking couple. So you can think of, these are a couple of desirable traits that are seen as just sexually valuable in the marketplace. So maybe something like fucking blonde hair, blue eyes, fucking shredded fucking muscles, deep voice, assertiveness, maybe extroversion, charisma, charm, those things, you know. That's for men. Well, actually, that's for men and women, except the fucking deep voice and the fucking shredded fucking muscles. Women, it's more, obviously it's more physical features. Women tend to go after the aggressive man who has more status and power and socioeconomic status and resources, you know, maybe more intelligence, and maybe there's a few other ones, and that's what I want to discuss. So what we do is we measure ourselves in relation to the general population. And so after we start adding up all the variables, you know, and we kind of, I don't know how we do this. I think it's very intuitive and unconscious, but we kind of gauge an idea of how much selectability we have, you know? And so let's say we have, with this sexual value quotient that we've created for ourselves, let's say you've arbitrarily assigned, not arbitrarily, but let's say you've unconsciously came up with a sexual value quotient for yourself of 125, right? Well, and this kind of changes for men and women, right? Men will probably be a lot less selective, and men will probably be a lot less selective, and women will be much more selective. So, but let's say you're a fucking woman. I want to talk about women in this for just a minute, right? I think this is more particular for women, because women are much more selective, and so that's what this video is really about. What the woman does is she finds out the traits, the characteristics that she has, mostly physical, right? Women are they measure themselves physically more than anything, because, well, that's what men go after, obviously. Men care more about appearance, and women care more about personality, but mostly personality, so as far as he's able to use his personality to assert himself in the world and rise in the dominant hierarchies and achieve higher levels of socioeconomic status, right? So, what the woman does, like I said, she assesses her sexual value quotient, her sexual market value, and what she creates for herself is a minimum and a maximum. And the minimum and the maximum is like, it's in reference to her trait neuroticism, so how prone to negative emotion she is. So you can think of it like this. Most women, this is really the funniest thing. You'll see what women say this shit. I just want a nice guy. That's not fucking true. It's bullshit. She was a fucking strong alpha savage who will take care of her and be committed to her and not cheat on her. She doesn't want a fucking low class, low value man. She wants a high value man who will also offer stability, because women are very neurotic, right? They don't want to have children with somebody who's just going to run off with 50 other girls, because like they don't want to be fucking single moms, right? It's a lot more dangerous for them because they have to take care of the fucking baby. They hold more responsibility, generally speaking, for infants than men do. Men can just run off. With a woman, it's like, it's my fucking baby. So, you see. But anyways, women generally start here. This is the ideal. So let's say the woman assesses herself as having a sexual quotient of 125. And her minimum, so let's say 100 is average. She's willing to settle for average, but her ideal is 125, perhaps, and her maximum is 150, right? So the reason I create the ideal is generally she's going to start off looking somewhere between the ideal and the maximum. And her levels of trait neuroticism are going to determine how close to the maximum she's willing to go, right? Or how wide the gap between ideal and maximum is. So maybe it's 125 to 200. And what that means is, well, here's the reason why. Why would a woman not go for somebody that's extremely highly successful? I'll tell you why. The same reason you see a guy who's jacked up teeth, he's missing a fucking leg, and he's got all these fucking things wrong with him, right? He's not gonna go up to a fucking model and start talking to her. He's going to understand in his head. Well, it's kind of actually different for women, but men fear rejection. Women fear getting fucked, taken advantage of, and left with a baby to take care of, essentially. And so basically, women understand to an extent that the higher up, the more valued the man that she's going after, the more options he himself has, and the more likely he is to run off with somebody else. Because guess what? The less options the man has, especially in relation to the woman that he's with, if he can get a much more valued woman, why the hell would he stay with her? Why not just run off with some more valuable woman? If he's a 200 and she's a 125, why not just why won't he get a 150, 175? Why the hell stick with a 125, you know? And so, as I said, she's going to become more likely to be neurotic and thinking that he's going to run off with somebody else, because she's going to know deep down he's got fucking options. And that's going to both attract her and scare the hell out of her at the same time, right? Now, here's the thing, and that kind of creates, if the ideal is, and this is why women go for the dad bod. They say, why do women care about the dad bod? They want the fucking shredded savages, right? They want the fucking savage. But what fucking happens, you mates, you fucking savages, is she gets with the shredded alpha, he goes balls deep, he fucking leaves, and then guess what? She's left confused and her neuroticism increases. And that happens again and it increases some more. And her maximum, the most she's willing to risk, the more the most valuable partner she's willing to risk actually forming a relationship with, because he's likely to leave her, is going to decrease further and further and further until she's looking for the dad bods. Because what he's now offering, he might not be so much offering reproductive success as far as resources and socioeconomic status and all those things that women look for. What he's offering is stability. And so that's what the women generally, as their neuroticism increases, they start seeking stability. They're more realistic. And so, but the lower in trait neuroticism a woman is, the more likely she is to take those risks. She wants that alpha. And deep down, everyone wants a fucking shredded alpha. But they really want stability. Because guess what? It's better to have an ideal man who's at the same number as her, who will stick around, than to fucking carry on a full alpha's infant while he's off running around with other girls. She wants a man that's going to take care of her. So she's ultimately going to go for stability, but she's also, alphahood and stability are almost equal. But here's the thing. Well, maybe not exactly. Low neuroticism, alphahood is placed as a priority. High neuroticism, stability is placed as a priority. And so, like I said, the woman who's been particularly screwed over again and again and again, she's actually going to find herself in this settlement. And that's her minimum. she'll actually start seeking out low-class men. She'll start looking, as she gets screwed over by more alphas, she'll go from between the maximum risk to the ideal to looking between the ideal and the minimum, because she's looking for stability any way she can find it. But deep down, she'll settle for a man who's not an alpha male, who's more timid and won't go assert himself in the world because she's just so desperate for stability. But deep down, she's going to be wanting that fucking alpha that's going to come and just rock her fucking world, but then take care of her afterwards, you know? So that's what women really fucking want. That's the fucking theory. Beware of a woman. For all you fucking low-class men out there, beware of a woman who's settling for you. If deep down you know she's settling for you, you be fucking careful, because if her neuroticism drops, she's gonna start looking for that alpha again. Fucking next time, you discriminative cunts.